for tuning in to Let's Talk About It Media 21. I hope you're having a great day. Stay positive, stay focused. Let's get to it. What is the hot topic that's going on YouTube or Instagram? Copyright disclaimer. Under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976, allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comments, news reporting, teaching, scholarships, and research. Fair use is use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. All comments are alleged, in our opinion, and for entertainment purposes only. Don't forget, the Cash App is Let's Talk About It Media. Thank you for all your love and support. Let's listen in to what this gentleman had to say.
Interview from Tribett on the Breakfast Club, and I get what he was trying to say, but he made a statement that was very irresponsible on the wrong platform. He said the church is whack. How can you go on a national platform and totally throw under the bus the very institution that made you who you are? You, sir, had an opportunity to shine God's light, to push people back into the place of healing. But instead, you wanted to feel cool. You could have been a light. You could have told people, man, falling in love with God was the best thing I've ever done, and I found the right church. Go find the right church. You don't know who's going to take that statement and walk away from a church that could have really impacted their lives. My church isn't perfect. There is no perfect church. Just like there's no perfect restaurant, there's no perfect radio show. Everybody falls short. I literally met you in church. Meeting you changed my life forever. The church is not whack. The church is a morning. I heard an interview from Tribett on the Breakfast Club, and I get what he was trying to say, but he made a statement that was very irresponsible on the wrong platform. He said the church is whack. How can you go on a national platform? It's a system now.
Okay.
Everything is a system, and systems work with or without God. So I think the institution of church is whack. I think how.
Okay, so let's get to it. Everybody knows, born and raised church, there are some great churches. And when I say great churches, the pastor's not lying and cheating on his wife. The pastor helps the community. There is weekly food given to the community. When, if it's a larger church, you give to that church for years and years, 5-6 years. You have electricity or a DTE bill or a major bill that's going to cause your lights to be shut off. That church steps in. That church is not riding around in limousines and Rolls Royces, houses big as day, jets, and not helping the community. Either you send them to a community center to get the assistance or help, or you guide them how to get the help, but you don't let people's lights get cut off. Many things have happened, and there's been a huge shift because we're hearing all these allegations, we're hearing all these concerns, and yes, some of these pastors are literally walking around with people that they're with. There's major concerns, and I believe that Pastor Mike Jr. was right. You had an opportunity. If you're having a concern with your church, go to another one. There's some great churches out there, and there are many, and I can tell you this from experience. There are many people that have been injured and hurt and disappointed in the church. But you have to remember, some of those people are human beings. They may not have been brought up right, but they're behind a pulpit. And you have some that were brought up right. They're loving, they're kind, and they're respectful. And they expect their church members to be loving, kind, and respectful. There's most churches that are kind and considerate. They have an open door policy. This is what I experience. And you have to figure, your family is so large, right? And there's always some kind of drama issues, or somebody said something, did something, Just think of it on a larger scale of a church. You got all these different personalities, weird personalities, kind personalities, wanting to stir up stuff personalities, looking at somebody's husband personalities. There's a lot that go on in the church because it's a larger scale. But when you look at what has been said about the church people that we're supposed to look up to Just think about the story in regards to Kurt and his son. Think about the story that would just came out in regards to the people from what Sunday's Best. Think about all that. And these are people that we look up to. Now, the one they don't play about is Yolanda Adams. Loving, kind, respectful. Think about what happened at Noel Jones Church, and his wife was hit. I have to watch what I say. Hit by somebody. And my sister actually knows her. But just think about the things that go on. You're a building and you're dealing with so many different personalities. Go to a church that's giving. Go to a church that's loving. Go to a church that respects their members and expects their members to be loving, kind, and respectful. Or be kind or be quiet. Not in this church. And I found that there's a lot of good churches, really. And they don't put up with foolishness. And they tell you, we're not going to put up with foolishness. Because if you leave the door open for the foolishness will come in. I think we need new gospel singers, great people of God that we can look up to. So many of these are so questionable. You have the Manassas and the T.D. Jakes situation. You have the Larry Reed and his staff situation and his whole concerns of what he has going on. And people are still donating. Now, Manasseh says he was going to possibly do something, and other people are supposed to come out and, they're coming to him for assistance and help. Talk to your daughters. Talk to your sons. Make sure they're okay going into that building. No one should ever touch in a way it's not a hug and saying hello and you walk away. Some of these churches, people grew up going Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Sunday. Now, some just go Sunday. And it's funny that one of my friends was like, yeah, they tell us to look to the neighbor and touch the neighbor. And it's like, that's the last time we're going to tell you to touch or look, because we know that things are still going on in the world. But there are some wonderful churches out there. There are some wonderful Christians out there. And there are some people that act like a good Christian and they're not. They're rude, they're disrespectful, they try to shade you, disrespect you, and you're supposed to be a good Christian and take it. No, speak up for yourself. Stand up for yourself. It's okay. It's okay. I agree with Pastor Mike, and I wish him well. And I think that there's a lot of concerns in churches, just like any other business. There's concerns in business. But I do think that we need a fresh group of people, of Christians, famous gospel singers to look up to, because I think there's some concerns.
Is whack. How can you go on a national platform and totally throw under the bus the very institution that made you who you are? You, sir, had an opportunity to shine God's light, to push people back into the place of healing. But instead, you wanted to feel cool. You could have been a light. You could have told people, man, falling in love with God was the best thing I've ever done, and I found the right church. Go find the right church. You don't know who's going to take that statement and walk away from a church that could have really impacted their lives. My church isn't perfect. There is no perfect church. Just like there's no perfect restaurant, there's no perfect radio show. Everybody falls short. I literally met you in church. Meeting you changed my life forever. The church is not whack. The church is a morning. I heard an interview from Tribett on the Breakfast Club, and I get what he was trying to say, but he made a statement that was very irresponsible on the wrong platform. He said the church is whack. How can you go on a national platform and totally throw...
So thanks for tuning in. Thanks for supporting the channel. Like, comment, and subscribe.